Okay, so this is my first time being on camera since I shaved my head. Um, I'm gonna do a completely different video describing, like, telling you why I shaved my head. But this video is gonna be more geared towards the Shea Moisture disaster. I know I'm kind of late because now there's all types of videos telling people why they feel this way, but I'm gonna add my 2 cents in because I remember exactly why Shea Moisture had to come out and why a lot of people are upset about what Shea Moisture recently did. So, fast forward years ago, when I originally started to get into my healthy hair journey, um, I had gone to the hair store, the Black Beauty Supply hair store, and they would have products there that didn't really work. So then you're kind of like, okay, and you kind of eventually you look up and say, okay, well, I'm tired of going to these stores and asking these people that work here. They don't know nothing because when you go to a beauty supply store owned by Asian people, and the one that I go to over here is Hispanic people, and they can't tell you about the product because they don't use the product themselves. Because I have completely different hair texture than they do. So pretty much I had to wing it. I was young. I didn't know anything. I was starting off with products. And so I think I started with Cantu products and Africa's Best and things like that. And they did okay. And I was a product junkie, so I brought a lot of products and I was like, let's go get this, let's try it. But a few years later, a line called Shea Moisture came out. And well, before I say that, I would go to places like Walmart and Target and things like that, and you would go to the African American, what do they call it, the ethnic hair section, and we would have less than 10% of the aisle was products for us, and half of them did not work for our hair, especially as someone with natural type 4 hair. So it was kind of like, what the hell, what's going on? So a lot of people that didn't have that struggle don't understand what we're talking about when we feel like companies do the things that Shea Moisture just did, do those things, and then we get upset and they're confused as to why. This is why. When I used to go to the like when I used to go to Walmart or Target, which is all over the place, y'all, we barely had our own section. Our section was so tiny. It was less than 10% of the aisle. It was literally one side of an aisle, and it was like 4 products long and 5 products down. That's it. Half of it was relaxers, and the other half was stuff for heat. Then the other part was just little stuff for natural hair, and it half the time it didn't work. So, like I said, that's when companies like Shea Moisture came out. They were owned by Black people. They had natural products, good products for your hair, things that would not coat your hair with things that made you think that your hair was healthy. They had good products. Your hair was moisturized afterwards. Your hair was doing good after you use these products. And the formula was great, but the product was kind of pricey, but we bought them because we were like, hey, this is the first time we could buy products that actually work for us. And then we're like, hey, it's for a Black owned company, let's spend our coin. So, and at the beginning, mostly Black women were purchasing these products. Then eventually they branched out and they had things for like soap and things like lotions and things, different things for stuff other than your hair. So I'm like, hey, they're branching out. That's good. Then apparently they kind of, now I think they still say that they're Black owned. However, I think there's someone that owns a chunk of their stock or something, or invested a lot of money. And so, yes, it's technically Black owned. However, when you go, like, there's the website LinkedIn shows you anything you want to see about any company, any major company. So you can go and look. A lot of the people that work under Shea Moisture, are not African American people. And I'm not saying that's a terrible thing, but when you have people that are marketers and things like that, they see this video come across their desk, and they, for a company that was more so geared towards African American women at the beginning with natural hair, they let something, a commercial like this that has a biracial woman that has hair that's nothing like ours, and two Caucasian women. One that's sad about not knowing what to do with her hair. That's a red hair, and she bleached her hair blonde for 7 years straight. How does that make any sense? That makes no sense. Like, again, I understand they're trying to widen their reach. However, you don't widen your reach while ignoring and leaving out the people that helped you start this company out, because that just kind of makes it seem like, oh, okay. And another thing I've heard, because I have not used Shea Moisture in a very long time. Apparently a lot of women that were like Shea Moisture fans, they were using it and they changed their formula. Now it doesn't work as good. Now it makes some of their hair fall out. Now their hair is dry and brittle and it's just breaking off. And I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about. And a lot of women say that Shea Moisture changed their formula so that everyone can use it. Now, I have been around for a while. I've seen companies like Pantene. I've seen companies like, what is it? Aussie Moist, Garnier Fructis. All these companies, they don't ever just change their formula to work for everybody. They create another line and say, hey, we usually gear towards moisture. Now we have a line for people that use relaxers, people that use chemicals, people that use a lot of heat, people that have dry, all kind of things. So Shea Moisture, when you do things like you change your formula so that everyone can use it, you forget there were plenty of products for everyone to use. We didn't have a lot of stuff for women with kinky hair. We didn't have a lot of products. So now you've gone and done another thing. It's like you've changed the formula and now we're thrown to the side. And now we feel like we done set up here and spend all our money. And now you mean to say, oh, now we've changed the formula. You done bought all these products and now they don't work. So it's just like, it's not right. And a lot of people don't understand why we're upset. It's because we're upset because we've sat here and we've longed for a company to have something like this. We get it. And finally, now they're like, oh, well, we're going to gear it towards everybody, not just you. But then you can't say that if you're a CEO and you don't even have hair like ours, how can you wholeheartedly sit here and say that it's geared towards everybody? It's as well as you. No, because it doesn't work on everybody's hair. That's the thing. It's like with things like Pantene. When Pantene originally came out, Pantene did not work for everybody's hair. So they got their shit together and said, hey, let's make different things so everybody can use it. They didn't say let's change the formula so that everybody can use it. We hope that everybody can use it, but technically no, because everybody's hair is not the same. Like, you have to be smart. And I understand you might say, well, we don't have the funds to do that. However, if you don't have the funds, then you do what you can. Don't half-ass shit and then be like, hey, sorry if it don't work. Oh, well. Like, like, a lot of people will never understand certain things because they don't go through certain things. And I understand y'all might just say, well, it's just hair. Okay, but at the end of the day, when it's just something that you care about, it's very serious. And it's like when you go into a hair store and you're a person, you have different aspects of you. When you go into a store and you go to an aisle where there's products galore for everyone else, but then when we get to our section, there's barely anything there. Barely. And then you guys don't understand where we're coming from because you don't ever go to the store and say, oh, I have straight long hair that's greasy at the roots. You don't ever go to the store and don't see anything that helps you with that. That doesn't help you with that. But when you go into a store and you have kinky coily roots that's dry and it's doesn't produce much oil. You can't, it's very hard for you to go into an aisle where there's barely any products and it's not geared towards natural hair. Like, it's hard. So you have to, like, you can't tell people they need to calm down when it's certain things of their life that are already hard just for that one aspect, and then something comes along and then you take it away because you want it to be able to make money from every aspect. You, like, for me, in my opinion, you're supposed to focus on what you're good at, not just disperse your stuff so that everybody can get it and you can get everybody's money. That's just my opinion.